Meet Captain South Africa, who'd rather not punch criminals because that doesn't end crime, her creator says. Bill Masuku was inspired by student protests which shook South Africa starting 2015. Fast forward a few years, he's returned to the Cape Town Comic Convention with his black superhero who wears the colors of South Africa's flag.
She is a political superhero, non-violent. One of the most difficult things to write because superheroism by nature is a violent genre. But within this, I was inspired by the people I went to university with, by these protests and movements that asked for political change that didn't incite violence, right? And by the women that I was inspired by, I had to tell their story in a way that I knew how, and it was through comic books.
Some 5,000 copies of the hero who fights poverty and inequalities have been sold and 10 volumes published. The author, who lives between Zimbabwe and South Africa, happily attends the convention where he meets readers.
I want multiple reactions to it. One of them, which may not be favorable to me, I want people to see this and say, this doesn't look like me, we can do better, right? Absolutely, I want them to be like, this is more Black American, we've absorbed some stuff from Western comic books.
The event, running through Sunday, gathers hundreds of comics lovers and attracts newcomers. Dressed as a Valkyrie, this student grew up loving comics. She rejoices at the growing visibility of the community.
We have had such a big community here that has gone unnoticed for years. And then when Comic-Con first came to Joburg, I think that was like the first kind of like realization of just the extent of the community here.
Lagos, Nigeria and Nairobi, Kenya have been running their own Comic-Con festivals for years. The author of the first South African comic superhero, known as Kwezi, believes the demand for heroes from the continent is growing.
They are the window into South Africa as it is, the culture in there. Having characters is like having a mascot that speaks of where he comes from, he or she comes from. So I feel it's important because they're an addition to a bigger world.
Comic-Con Cape Town focuses on all elements of pop culture. It attracts international and local comic artists, film and TV celebrities and cosplayers.